This video is for you if you feel like you're losing the attraction, if maybe it's slipping away, maybe you feel like some of the respect is leaving, or the same energy that was maybe there in the beginning isn't there now. This video is going to be a game changer for you. I'm going to show you exactly what to do to transform the energy from the inside out so that you regain your own sense of validation and approval, and you're in your own frame and energy, so that then that emanates off and that attraction comes back stronger than ever. Now, one of the first things to realize about this whole dynamic when it comes to this kind of energy is that one of the best things you can possibly do to get someone else to feel a certain way about you is to simply nag them over and over again. It's to ask them to look for their approval or validation, to say, hey baby, do you still approve of me? Do you still like me? Hey, is everything still going okay? And what ends up happening is they eventually just come around and they're like, oh, I'm going to start giving this person approval and validation. And then they finally decide to do it. Okay, of course, I'm being sarcastic here. What you really want to do is not nag them. You don't necessarily want to demand that they or in sometimes even in passive aggressive ways. You're like, what do you do? And they're like, I'm going to go hang out with friends. And you're like, oh, that's fine. Okay, hang out with friends. And then deep down on the inside, you're feeling like, why are they hanging out with friends? Do they not love me anymore? Do they have friends? Do they not love me? These are things and stories in our own mind and in our own psyche that we begin to develop that is normally reflecting back as well, that there's some inherent belief there. It says that I'm not worthy, something wrong with me, maybe I attract people and they leave. These are all things that you want to become aware of, because remember, people feel what you feel about you. So when it comes to the energy slipping away or the attraction slipping away, one of the things that you want to do, and I know I've never said this in a video before, but that's because it's my most popular technique that I've ever shared, and it works so powerfully that I really only want people to use it for good. Do you want to know what it is? It's you pull your energy back, okay? This is the key to any type of attraction. This is the key because what happens is attachment is the root of all suffering. Attachment is also something that we can call neediness. When we are attached to what someone else thinks or feels about us, we are, in a way, making something outside of us the means to complete something inside of us. And one of the things that very often happens in relationships is there's a story that's developed that this person is the key to my happiness. They're the other half to my immortal soul. And this person doesn't know it yet. I see this on my channel sometimes. Like, what do you do when your twin flame is running and they don't know that you're twin flame? The best thing you could do is maybe just go explain it to them. Be like, hey, I know you don't know this yet, but you are the other half to my soul. You are the other half to my happiness, and you're running from your own work right now. But if you just come here and connect with me in this way, if you just connect with me, you'll realize you are the other half to my soul. Of course, I'm being sarcastic here again. Okay, I'm being sarcastic twice in this video now, so don't take it too seriously. Another part of this as well is to loosen up. We take this thing so serious, life so seriously sometimes, love so seriously sometimes. And I'll tell you from experience of working in my job at Nordstrom's and women's shoes, I go into work every day, I get paid commission. If I went in with the intention of having fun and connecting with other people, magic would happen. If I went in the intention of, I need to make $4,000 today in sales so that I make like $300 of commission, I need to do this, then guess what? Resistant energy. It wouldn't work so well. So for this, and for everything that we're talking about right now, this is about regaining your own sense of attraction, your own sense of magnetism by pulling your energy back and putting it inside of your own body. And understanding that a lot of times if somebody feels like they're slipping away, you want to know what they might need? They might need a little bit of space. They might need a little bit of space. And that's okay. Give them some space. Stop trying to change. It's like they're like, okay, I just need some space. And sometimes, by the way, sometimes they're testing you. They do want space, but they're like, is this person going to get all needy and freaking weird with me when I just ask for a little bit of space? Or are they going to be cool? And about being cool, it's about really understanding what are you asking for this person? Do you need their constant validation or approval? Because there's another side of this as well where I believe it is powerful to be vulnerable. And even in an anxious and an avoidant relationship, where sometimes someone may have an anxious attachment style where they lean in. Avoidant is like they want space a lot of times. There could be power in actually expressing, like, listen, when you pull away and you want space, sometimes it makes me a little bit feel uncomfortable. It's not a bad thing sometimes to express that because you're being vulnerable. You're expressing what's real. A lot of times what the anxious will do is be passive aggressive, and they won't express that at all. And they'll just be like, fine, go hang out with your friend. I'm going to hang out with my friend. I have friends too. Haha. And then they'll go and they'll like try to like put on this whole show thing, you know. Don't be passive aggressive. Be vulnerable over being passive aggressive, but also just look at yourself. Why am I afraid to let this person have a little bit of space? Space isn't a bad thing. A lot of times in space, they'll be able to appreciate you more. They'll realize that their feelings actually come back even stronger. So many times I see it where two people may break up. One person wants space. They say, I want space. And they say it just like that. They say, space. And then this one says, I can't give you space. If I give you space, you're going to leave me forever. You're going to orbit off into the moon and go away. And they just keep trying to chase the person. And then I say, yo, bro. Or yo, just yo. Not gender specific, right? I say, yo, pull your energy back. Stop projecting them energy and give them space. And then they pull their energy back and they start focusing on their own life. They start focusing on their own level of integrity. They start being vulnerable in their life. They start opening up. They start following their passion. They start living according to their own rules. They become the star of their own freaking movie. Then what happens a lot of times? This person that was like, hey, I want space, they come around. They're like, oh, look, there's a person I actually like again. Or I realize that I've had space, and now I realize how much I appreciate them. And then it's because you're in your own frame. You're in your own reality. So space is not a bad thing. If they say they want space, give them space and be cool about it. Don't pretend to be cool about it, but realize it's not a bad thing. It's not the end of the world. They're not asking for space because they hate you and they never want to see you again. They're asking for space because maybe they need some space. So that will help you to then not internalize this whole process that says, oh my God, they're pulling back a little bit. It means they're never going to talk to me again. They don't like me. They're abandoning me just like mom or dad did. No, let them go and let them do their own thing. And it's crazy how many times I've seen this happen where, like I said, people break up or they just need some space. They give each other some space. And the person that normally would be needy and weird about it realizes it has nothing to do with them. For a long time in relationships, I was internalizing. If someone didn't want to be with me, it's because I wasn't good enough. There was something wrong with me. Eventually, though, you know what I realized? It wasn't because I wasn't worthy. But for a while, they were reflecting back the belief that I wasn't worthy because I believed I wasn't worthy. But once I started realizing my own sense of value and I started being the real me, it changed everything. I didn't realize that somebody else not committing to me, some of that was just their own stuff. They may have had their own childhood trauma, their own experiences where they didn't want to be met there. They were afraid of that level of intimacy. They were afraid of that type of connection. And it didn't have to do with me. Just like, by the way, this goes even deeper, right? If somebody breaks up with you or pulls back their energy, let me ask you a question. Was there a time in your past when mom or dad pulled back their energy? Maybe when you were a kid. Maybe you don't even remember. But then you internalized it and said, there's something wrong with me. And then you started to delve into me. People leave me. People emotionally maybe abandon me or physically abandon me. These are all a reflection of the energy that we are embodying because there's a belief there that feels familiar from childhood. And the weird thing is that then a lot of times we will attract people to reflect back that same belief because it feels familiar. There's a familiar energy there. So then we attract those people to then reflect back to us the belief that we initially have. So one of the most powerful things you could do if they're trying to leave you is realize maybe they're not leaving you. Maybe they just want some space. They want space. Give them space. And don't internalize it and think that because they want space, there's anything wrong with you. Just like when mom may have wanted space when you were a kid or something. You then said, oh, there's something wrong with me. I need to change myself. I need to tune myself to environment to create safety. I need to be perfect for everybody. Instead, realize it's not your fault. You don't have to internalize it. That's their stuff, not yours. It's a common thing that I share in other videos, a common mantra that's so powerful. That's their shit, not yours. Maybe at a certain point in time, you picked it up and thought it was yours. It's like you were young and you saw a rock that you thought was yours, and you picked up this rock and you started carrying it everywhere, and everywhere you go, you carry this rock because you think it's yours. And now I'm telling you, you can put the rock down. It's not your rock. You just identify. You're like, well, this rock was with me since I was 4 years old, and it kept me safe, and I just slept with this rock for so long, and I just really love this rock. Even though you might feel safe with it because you've been around a long time, you can let it go now. And then you can be free. You're like, whoa, look at all this. Now I can give you space, and it's okay because I don't need that rock anymore. So like, be next to your rock. You see, so this is really about your own energy, realizing you have the ability to be in your own frame, pull your energy back, stop abandoning yourself, and realize that if the energy is slipping away like that, that might be a lot of the reason why. Because your energy is too intrusive in a way. Now, you also have to be honest with yourself, because sometimes you may be with somebody that maybe isn't emotionally available, and maybe they just always want a lot of space, right? And maybe mom or dad wanted a lot of space, and you're becoming aware of that. But you also want to be honest with yourself and realize, am I choosing me? Am I choosing someone that's also choosing me? And that will change the way you view because you might realize you're in an old pattern. Maybe not. You might be in an old pattern that you're replaying from childhood. And maybe the answer is to say no to that pattern. To say no to a pattern to someone that's not choosing you. Is to say no to a pattern that's causing you to abandon yourself. And to commit to you. Because the more you commit to you, the more you feel that inner self-love inside of yourself, the more attractive you will feel. And the more also empowered you will feel because you're living according to your own integrity. Sometimes also people pull away because sometimes things can become kind of monotonous. Monotonous, something like that. You know what I mean by that word. Monotonous is that of things are becoming too autopilot. Something that could be cool to do sometimes is to actually just do new shit. Do something new. Take this, if you feel like the attraction is slipping, maybe you're just playing it too safe. Have more fun. Take them somewhere, surprise them. Surprise them. Surprises go a very long way for energy. There's a quote by Tony Robbins, like, if you do what you did in the beginning of the relationship, always, there'll never be an end. Because a lot of times people, when they're in a relationship, things become kind of monotonous, and then after like a couple years or months or whatever, then everything's routine. But when you do something new, you surprise them, you take them out, you do something new, and you don't do that just because then you're going to gain the attraction back. You do it because it's who you are. You have the courage in your own life to get into new situations. You have a thirst for like maybe exploring world a little bit more, going out a little bit more, even just with your significant other, or exploring and trying new things a little bit more. You'll realize that goes a long way because then it's more exciting energy. But you're not doing it because it's going to get you the person to stay with you forever. You're doing it because it's how you prefer to live in life. So, attachment is the root of all suffering. Let go of attachment by starting to meet your own inner childhood needs and realize you might be playing similar patterns. Maybe the answer is to say no to that energy. Maybe not. But one of the biggest things you can do is to have a complete identity shift. When you shift your identity, you shift your entire life. Now, one thing that I have is I have the 3 most powerful meditations I've ever created. It's an inner child meditation. It is a attract love meditation that has been downloaded and listened to over 5-6 million times. It's crazy. No joke, it's on YouTube, but you can download it for free. And then also that of the self-image transformation meditation that I used to sell. These are all 3 for free. If you go right now to www.aarondowdy.com/meditation, click the link in the description box below, download those 3 meditations, listen to them for 21 days, watch how much your life transforms, and then also, if you want to a video to understand if they left, exactly what to do to completely transform the energy, this is my most powerful video. If they're slipping away and you want to regain that attraction, watch this video now.
They may not come back if the energy remains the same. However, if the energy changes, if the energy comes back to self,